Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private Everlasting server. Um, our character has just leveled to level 27, and we just completed a mission for Miriam Blechel. I don't know. I still don't know how you say her name, and so I'm going to go ahead and call her up and see if she has a story arc available, and she does. The scroll. Oh, this is an awesome one. This is a Banished Pantheon. The Scroll of Tialeku. Banished Pantheon cultists have been searching a warehouse in Independence Port. Whatever they're looking for must be very interesting because there have been reports of warriors on the scene as well. I need someone to go to the warehouse and find out what's going on. So we're now on 2 story arcs. So now that we've started these story arcs, I don't believe we can outlevel them. And the next thing we need to do, I sold off all our enhancements. We've got a bunch of salvage, but we still have plenty of salvage slots. We have 136 out of 152. We have enough recipes. I don't need that, I don't think, right? Reduces endurance cost. We don't need that. We can start making some. We have some accuracy enhancers that we can use. Some damage level 30 enhancer we can use. Endurance reduction, we have 6 of these that we can use, so these are all of use to us potentially. Whoops, no, I didn't mean to do that, sorry. So there's all of that. First we want to level and add new slots. And so, Luminary, train us up to a new level. So we get 2 more enhancement slots. And so we got to figure out what we're going to do here. Now, one of the things we could do is add another slot to Focus Chi, get another recharge enhancer on it. We could add one to Practice Brawler to make sure it's completely permanent. We could add an endurance reducer to Dragon's Tail. We have endurance reducers on these 2. We could add an endurance reducer to Storm Kick. I think that actually looks very attractive. And I would like to get dodge finished as well. Let's go ahead and add the 3rd recharger to Focus Chi. I think we're going to get the most bang for our buck out of that. So, we're going to need to redo... Who's this lady? Lebanon. Interesting. Is this a Lebanon? I guess she's from Lebanon, and that's the Lebanese flag or something? I don't know. Interesting character. The White Witch. Surprised that wasn't name blocked. That's a character from the Legion of Superheroes, at least the name. Probability Engine, that is a cool name. There are some really cool characters. The White Warlock, I wonder if the White Warlock and the White Witch are related in some way. Megaton Woman, who's from the Megaton Woman official fan club. Interesting. There are some really cool characters. So, Storm Queen Aurora, who is presumably supposed to be Storm from the X-Men, right? Because Aurora is Storm's name, and the costume is very similar as well. Aurora Monroe, I believe, is her name in the X-Men. Anyway, so we need to deal with our enhancements. We have a whole bunch of new enhancements that we need to get, and so we got to throw most of these out that are not invention enhancers. So let's go to the workshop, and we're going to do some inventing, and that is in Steel Canyon South. There's also one in Callisto Wharf. There's also a university in Founders Falls and some of the other locations, but for now we'll just go ahead and use the one we're familiar with, which is over here. And you can see how much quicker it is at this level to get super jump done and just jump over here in about 8 hops. This might be, yeah, this is a workbench right here. Okay. So let's see. So for sure, on the new powers, we definitely need a recharge enhancer on Focus Chi. That'll get it down to about 48 seconds or something. And we need an endurance reducer on Stormkick, right? So recharge reduction, level 30. Let's try starting these, because this is now a 34.8%, so it's now better than a single origin that's even level. So we'll go ahead and create that one. And go ahead and put that in to Focus Chi. And Focus Chi is down to 47 seconds now, which is great. And then we wanted to do an endurance reduction. And let's see, level 30. We do not have in our gas and stabilized mutant genome. We could make a level 25 one. I really would rather make level 30s or just buy the endurance reducer SO. I don't know. I mean, we have all these things. You may as well create it. So this is going to drop the endurance to 5. So now all of these guys are reduced endurance. So that should help us a little bit. Now this is becoming a problem because this recovery is not as good as it was. It's only 26.7% bonus. And we're going to have to start stripping out these all these things and creating or buying new ones or creating new enhancers. So let's see. We have 3. We can make 3. No, that's the endurance reduction. I need the endurance modification. We cannot make these because we don't have any. We have enough to make 1. We don't have the materials to make this. So yeah, this could take a while, guys. And I think I'm not going to do this now, just because it will take too long, and I'll do more of it off screen, because I'm going to have to go back to my vault and see what I've got, and I don't want you guys to just have to sit and wait as I go back and forth and back and forth. See, do I need a run speed? I could throw a run speed in quickness, right? Or swift. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's throw that into swift. There we go. So we're permanently enhanced swift by 32%, which is fine. What else have we got? So let's hide recipes, missing ingredients, and unowned recipes and see what we've got. Converts brainstorm ideas into random common invention salvage. I don't know what that's supposed to be. So we can do a level 30 damage. So let's go ahead and create that. And we can then throw that in here. That's great. So that keeps that permanently buffed. And healing. We don't need that, do we? We need 1. Okay. Let's go ahead and create it. And so we can rip that out. Put this in here. So that's fine. So you see we now have a 92% buff on this, which is okay. Not quite as good as having all single origins, but it's close enough. We don't need sleep. We have level 40 research reduction. We certainly don't need that. I'd really rather get the level 30s. We don't need the hold. The level 25 damage we don't really need. And this healing thing, we don't need that. Alright, so we buffed ourselves a little bit. I'm not going to go ahead and do any of the rest of it yet. We have till level 28, really, to use these enhancements, and I would like to do a mission with you guys, and then I will go ahead and kind of do uh, the rest of the updating off screen. All right, so we need to get to Independence Port, which will be pretty quick, and then we will do this mission, stop all villains in the warehouse, and then I will stop for tonight and for the recording. And then what I'll do is, whoops, carried too far. And then what I'll do is do all of the screwing around with inventions off screen. So Independence Port, let's go north. I'm guessing it'll be north, but we'll see. Because there are a lot of warehouses in the north side, and we are, in fact, right here. And there we are. Those toggles are all on, so we're good. Okay, so massive crates house a mishmash of valuable items, furniture, jewelry, and gorgeous oriental rugs. Alright. And there's a storm shaman, so let's try to stun him right away. Okay, we don't need that, so we'll go ahead and use it. And pound this guy. Okay, that's good. There's another shaman. Alright, well I don't have... I'm not going to wait for focus chi, so we'll just try to stun him quickly. Did I get him? Not fast enough. Got him. So, with keeping my tradition of basically talking about a bunch of crap that's not exactly happening on screen, since we're running this mission and it's not that hard, I want to point out something that occurred to me, and I was too slow. I want to point out something, or maybe not. I want to point out something that occurred to me over the break that I had. I was talking to some people in the Homecoming Discord chat, and it was the help channel. So these are, you know, people who are asking for help, and so I got into this sort of disagreement with this one guy who was trying to tell people, a couple people on there were saying that they needed more influence or whatever, and talking about enhancements, and this one guy was basically saying, oh, well, you should just invent all the invention sets that you can, and if you do that, you can sell them on the marketplace, and you can make a lot of influence that way, make a lot of quote-unquote money. But the problem with that is you have to know which sets are going to sell, and you have to know, kind of know what you're doing in order to play the market correctly, which brand new players won't. And so, I have to be very careful with new players, not to advise them to do things that would work for a veteran player, but not work, but would be very hard to figure out for a new player. And so, just like the guys who, and I described this, many episodes ago, when I was talking about first becoming a scrapper, and I was reading the scrapper forum, the official scrapper forum, and they were talking about how you should be able to do this, to go after oranges and reds essentially with no problem. And there's an orange and a red, right? and oh, it should be no problem to do that. You should just be able to go in and kick their butts. And um, yeah, I was too late on that one. And so I was like level 10 or something, and I went into Steel Canyon as I was telling the story, and oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. I'm getting stuck? Oh, this is just stupid. Come on. How the heck did I get stuck up here? And now I can't hit anything. Great. This is just great, because I got stuck. So anyway, what I was trying to say was, you don't give new players the advice you don't advise them to play the way experienced players play. They're experienced. They know what they're doing. You know, you can do certain things that, like, if you know how to play the game, that you're going to get your face planted if you don't know how to play the game. So, I think you have to be careful. So, my example is this. A lot of people, when they want to gain experience, they'll get the experience bonus that you can from the pay-to-win vendor, and they'll turn that all on, so they're getting like 50% extra bonus experience, but not realizing maybe 50% less influence. And what do they care? Because they have like a higher level character that they can trade down influence for and stuff like that. And so they'll do that, and then they'll go and do sewer runs, or in this case, like Death from Below, which is sort of a sewer run style task force. I've never played it, so I don't know much about it, but it's apparently a really good way to grind and get fast XP. Okay, so that's great. So a lot of people will do sewer runs and Death from Below, and they'll just level really fast. And this is advice that they'll give new players if they want to level quickly. Well, that's terrible advice, because leveling that fast at low level, when you're a new player, you shouldn't do that. You need to get to learn your character. You need to get to learn how the game plays. And so, so this one girl I was talking to on I think it was a female, and she was saying that she was struggling with enhancements, and and one of the things she said was, like, she was thinking of changing her origin, and like, I'm thinking, why? The origin is completely, totally meaningless in this game. It really is. It's just flavor. And so she said the reason she wanted to change her origin was because, she was never getting any enhancement drops, like magic enhancement drops. She was magic, and like, she never gets magical enhancement drops. And I said, well, you know, what level are you? And she said she was level 35. And I said, well, you get enhancement drops based on the mob that you're facing. So, like, I think Banished Pantheon may drop magic, and so I said COT, BP, and maybe DE will drop magic at that level. And she was like, I don't know what those abbreviations are. I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, so I said, well, Circle of Thorns, Bearing Earth, whatever. And she's level 35. She said, I'm only playing the game 2 days. And I thought, how the heck have you only, so I said to her, how the heck are you level 35 when you've only been playing the game 2 days? And she said, oh, I keep being too late for these guys. She said, oh, she's been doing Death from Below and sewer runs. I'm like, well, that's great for gaining experience, but it's not teaching you how to play the game, right? So she thought that the only way to get enhancements was, from drops. She didn't know you could buy them. She didn't know there were enhancement shops, right? And so here you are, a level 35 does not know that they can get enhancements from a shop. And so, like, literally, she wasn't getting any drops because she was fighting villains that weren't magical. And so she was playing, like, to level 35 with her enhancements bare. with almost no none of the slots full of enhancements. They're just empty sockets because she didn't know any better. And so my point here is you don't want to encourage, if you're an experienced player, you do not want to encourage new players to play like an experienced player. That is a mistake to encourage them to do that. They should be playing like a new player until they learn the ropes. Right? Then they play like an experienced player because they are an experienced player. Right? So I just think you just have to be really careful how you advise new players to play the game, and don't advise them to do things that only an experienced player would really be able to handle. Right? I mean, I've been able to do things that probably an inexperienced player would have been killed, and I wasn't, because I know what I'm doing. You've seen me do it in this very mission where I overpulled or made a couple of mistakes, and yeah, I survive it because I know what I'm doing, and I can even like talk about a totally different subject, and I don't panic, I don't like start cursing, I don't like freak out because I know what I'm doing. And it's something that comes second nature to me now, right? But it didn't come second nature to me when I was like level 12 for the first time. And so you have to be really careful what you advise players to do. Did I get him? Nope. God, it's almost impossible to get this guy. I hit him as early as you possibly can, and I still couldn't get him before he summoned his stupid guys. So, you just what I'm saying is just folks, be careful. Don't try to teach a newbie to play like an experienced veteran, because they really can't, and it's just going to screw them up and make the game not be fun for them. Like, how fun do you think it was for this person to just keep doing Death from Below over and over again, to have a gimped character, and then find out, oh, you could have just gone to this store in Talos Island or Founders Falls and been much more powerful and had a much easier time of it, and not had to take a knee after every single encounter. Look at how much nicer this character plays when fully enhanced. And right now our enhancements are getting a little behind, but how great it plays when fully enhanced compared to how it was when it wasn't fully enhanced. Right? Did I get him? No. Wow, it is literally impossible to get them. Maybe with a ranged attack? I don't know. So, yeah, just be careful, guys, what you advise new players to do. Don't advise them to play like I'm playing, right? Advise them to do things carefully and slowly at first. And my feeling is, as a new player, you shouldn't even pay attention to inventions. Just use single origin. Sell every single bit of salvage you have for the maximum price you can. You'll have plenty of influence, as you can see with this character. And just do single origin enhancements every 5 levels, and that'll just teach you the basics of the game. What did I miss? I missed a Death Shaman again. Will you come out from under there? Pain in my neck. Yeah, just like advise the newbies to, and certainly my advice is to the newbies, is to just learn the basics first. Don't worry about trying to, because what the experienced players are trying to do is min-max, right? And you can do that in this game, and it can be really fun to figure out how to do that. But a new player isn't capable of min-maxing, and you don't need to min-max to enjoy the game, to like actually play the missions and stuff. So don't worry about that, and just play it and have fun. Did I stun him fast enough? I hope so. Yeah, so, I mean, look, you want to min-max, that's fine. But you really need to know something about the game in order to min-max properly, right? And so, if you're dating people who don't know how to play the game and trying to get them to min max, I just think that that's not a good idea. But that's my opinion. So, we got a clue. Warrior orders. These written orders indicate that the warriors were here to find one item and one item only, something called the Scroll of Tieleku. Now we go. We're already almost level 28. I may have to turn XP off again. Contact to Miriam, and she says, so the warriors are there to find the Scroll of Tieleku. My guess is that the banished pantheons may have been searching for the same thing. And the clue says, the adventure began, oh, so this is just a summary. Okay. So the next mission is, from her, where is she? Is, I did a bit of digging about that warehouse where you stopped the banished pantheon and the warriors. Apparently, it used to hold the items for estates that are under dispute by their inheritors, among other things. It held the private library of Ross Caldwell, who used to adventure with the Midnight Squad under the name Darkvine. Maybe a good idea to check with the executor of the estate to see what he knows about the Scroll of Tieleku. So we're going to have to find the estate manager, but I think I'm going to stop here. It's getting late here, and what I want to do is actually work on these enhancements, right, and try to finish them up. And I'm going to have to do some playing with the vault and going back and forth, which I don't want to make you guys watch. So we'll end this here, and when I come back, I'll show you all the enhancements that I got and what I did. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back next time with another episode of City of Heroes.